Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video to the channel. Welcome to Friday, which only means one thing. Welcome to Runescape free Marketwatch. So this week has been Game Jam, where the mods are allowed to work on personal projects or little quality of life updates to help make the game a little bit better, which turns out to be some of the best updates in the week. But in terms of things affecting the Grand Exchange, nothing too big. I did do a video yesterday about the Grim Harvest promo coming to the game, and that's released a couple of items into the game as well. We have the brand new Yellow Halloween, a re-release of the Ensouled Pumpkin Mask, and then also the Soul Dive coming in another form into the game as well. So during this Halloween event, the Soul Dive really has been hammered into the game quite hard. But I guess that's what we want to do, is try and force the keys. But we are not here for that. We are here for one thing and one thing only. Runescape free Marketwatch, where we go through the Grand Exchange price rises and price falls on the homepage to pick out any money making methods, things up in price, or things to do to make a little bit more cash in your Runescape free time. Now, if you've got any suggestions for content you guys want to see, make sure to drop in the comment section below, and please make sure to hit that subscription button. It really does help me out and help the channel to be seen by more and more people, and it makes sure that you're following the channel for Marketwatch, which we do every Friday. But let's jump into price rises and see how we are looking for this week. Now, as always, cosmetics, override, tokens, that kind of stuff, unless it's something big, we generally like to skip it because it's nothing really we can affect too much anyway. So let's get started. Goldstone Spirit up to 1,000 coins. And a couple of weeks ago, we did point out that they were getting to a point where they were a little bit cheap. And with the price of gold ore, it's very solid. It's always at a very good price. And using things like Goldstone Spirits will always make you more money. So to see them over 1,000 coins generally means that gold ore will be quite a strong price as well. So that's nice to see. And I'll be doing a little bit of a video about gold ore actually for next week, because the 7-day bond account is going to make a glorious return, and that might be something I'm going to have it doing for a little bit, but we shall see, and I will update you guys on that in the next couple of days. Snakegrass 395, a red chinchomper now is 364 GP each, and a crushed bird's nest 209 GP. We have the blue die 4.3k, a green die here 4.9, and a red die for 10.4. Just as a little note, these are going up because of the Halloween quest, but we have Christmas a couple of months down the line, and it could definitely be a little money maker to go and stock up on it, because last year's Christmas event did use dies, and I'm pretty sure that the up and coming Christmas event will use dies as well. It just seems to be a running theme. Any seasonal quest at the minute requires dies, just as an item, and you can make some profit off that if you stock up. We have Astral Runes at 476 GP each, a Wizard Blizzard 4.1k, Body Talisman 1.9, Body Rune 33, Air Rune 44, and Water Runes going up to 143, which is quite high. That's one of the highest prices I remember it being for at least about a year. Obviously, water runes for a long time were very high in price, and because they were used for the ancient spells, and took a very big hit, but it seems to be climbing up towards that way anyway. Raw Rocktails back over 1,000 coins. Infernus Pyroclast 2.5k. Again, this is the absolute best way to have a pretty much free moneymaker. Pyroclast into Ultra Compost, and you'll make something like 7-ish k if you can get it for that price. I believe it's quite over mid anyway. Bronze bars bouncing back, which I think it needed to. Bronze bars got to a point where they were just too cheap, so they had to bounce back. So 1.3k for bronze bars. Wouldn't be surprised if that was a little run back up to 2k. We have the Ensouled Pumpkin Mask in black, 562.8 mil. This will be completely over that price. It'll be quite high because, again, it's a rare item. I think it looks better than the other two pumpkin masks as well. And because of that, it will be a generally very high price. If you are looking to sell this or buy this, I would go check one of the price checking websites. Mahogany Planks 925, Dragonkin Bones 12.8, which I'm surprised slightly. Yes, they were really cheap, but they are actually on the drop table for the Last Wills promo. Maybe they won't come in the volume which people predict, but yeah, that's gone up to 12.8k. Iron Bar 1.7, a purple die is 4.3, normal leather 1.2k, and a fire orb 242. Cadmium Red 11,000 coins each. Chinchomper Residue 182, Purple Sweet 3010 GP, and Eternal Magical Logs 2.8k. We have the Baby Osseous Pet for the Halloween event, 435.5 mil, and the Runic Tuna, which is quite OP. I think they're doing a nice little main account video regarding the Runic Tuna and also the Memory Dowser, because that's gone down a little bit as well. But 83.1 mil for the Runic Tuna there. We have Armadillion Yellow 10.7k, Ranar for 1.8, a Magic Composite Bow 1 mil again, and a Brown Die for 70 GP each. Sorrow Brew Flasks up in price 27.6k, Games Necklace is a full charge 2.5, Chester Seasons 39.7, and a Raw Chicken over 2,000 coins. We have Raw Beef at 951, Swamp Tart 253, U-Logs up in price, 834, which is always nice to see U-Logs up in price, and a Runite ore, 2.7k. Steel Arrowheads, 48 GP each, Inertia and Link Crystals, 1.9k, upgraded Bone Blowpipe up to 3.9 mil, and the Extreme Ranging Potion continuing to go up now, 8.6k for a 3-dose fair. We have the Meteorite Dust, 511. I will eventually do the quest on the main account actually and go and check this out, see if it's worthwhile as a moneymaker, but interesting to see if it really affects cannonballs and stuff like that. But for now, the Grand Exchange price is stated as 511. I imagine it'll be a little bit higher because it's a new item. Teat Logs 324, Lava Runes 1.1k, a Bandit's Brew is 1.2, and a Royal Rabbit 944. World Leads 20 GP each, Black Dragon Hide 1.8k. These actually went way too cheap, and if you saw my video about tanning hides, I've actually managed to pick up about 40k for like 1.3k each because they were just too cheap. So always sort of like keep an eye out on items like that. And again, once you're more familiar with the prices, where it goes and what you can do with it, that's when you can just pick items out just from reading the Grand Exchange. So yeah, that's not a bad one at all. We have a Ripper Dinosaur, 3.6 mil, Venomous Dinosaur, 2.6, Viswax up in price, 23.3, Staffer Light, 8 mil each, a Clean Arbok, 12.8, possibly going to be your best use of your instant growth potions at the minute, going to be Clean Arbok, but again, spoiler, that's going to be another video we're going to look at because I want to see just how good the Star Blooms are still. Blast Diffusion Boots, 2.8 mil, Amulet Arranging, 81.5k, and finally the Rainbow Token, 662.5k. So yeah, there's a few things there for this week, and again, it seems to be a stronger week by week sort of look on Marketwatch for the past couple we've done. There's some items here to keep an eye on. Obviously, Black Dragon Hide, I still think it's a little bit too cheap. We've got items going up in price, things like Rune Ore, U-Logs, more towards the mid-range. It's nice to see the Extreme Ranging Potions are up, Sorrow Brews as well, nice to see the Flasks are up in price. The Eternal Magical Logs are such a good item to stock up ready for like a double XP. I honestly think that the Eternal Magical like AFK methods are such a good thing to do like between double XPs and just stock up on a decent amount because you're going to make a lot of GP because they are very, very good ways to train, especially over a double XP anyway. So let's go look at price falls and let's see what is down in price so far for this week. So we've got lots of the items to start with from the Last Wills. So most of these are tokens from the Last Wills. We've got the Ashes and Impious Ashes as well. Impious Ashes will have a big play with some of the incense sticks. The lower level incense sticks generally are quite expensive for what they are just because of the price of the Impious Ashes. So let's see how that's going to affect them long term anyway. We have the Soul Die currently down to 628.9 mil. The Red Pumpkin at 74.1. I didn't realise these were tradable, so it's like an extra rare as such, like whether they've just brought it in as comparison to like the traditional pumpkin. But yeah, didn't realise that they were going to be released in the game, but that is a nice item to have actually. So a couple more of the cosmetics, the Soul Witch token is 1 mil, the Assassin's Walk Override again taking a big hit there, 511 mil. The Zombie Walk Override is down as well, quite big, 430 mil, and the Blood Witch Soul token at 250.7. Now, again, with these Last Wills, it's nice to have them as a big stack, but just be careful that the longer you leave them, the more these are going to go down. Obviously, we don't normally cover things like that, but I think because they're relevant to like the Last Wills, I think it's always good to shout them out. And if you do have a decent stack, don't sit on them too long because you might get caught out and you might lose some profit with it. Infernal Ashes, 419 mil, Magic Notepaper, 492. A Spring is 2.4k, and the Copper Ore is 457. Bloodweed Seed, 19,000 coins each, and Standard Coal is 345. A Purple Pumpkin is 220.2 mil. Starbloom Flower Seeds, 35.1k each. Spirit Runes, 64 GP each after having a really big bump up last week. Again, that's just Necromancy Runes all over. They are up and down so much. Hardened Dragon Bones, 10.9k. Cannonballs, under 1,000 coins. I think for the main account, I will possibly pick some up just because I'm going to use Cannonballs at some point over the next whatever, however long, and they'll definitely be worthwhile having. Keys of a Crossing, 198, possibly getting to the lowest they've been in a little while. Again, very similar to the Ascension Keys. The Magista is a very nice little boss log to complete, and at that price, that actually isn't too bad. We have Ascension Bolts, 1.1k. I price checked these at 900 the other day as well, so these are fully crashed. Again, if you're someone who does a lot of Hydrix fletching, this could be a good one to pick up as well because it just means you get them for a cheaper price. Acadia Logs, 1.4k each, Uncut Moonstones, 118k, Mort Mire Fungus, 1.6k, and Raw Rat Meat, 1,000 coins. Aerate Bones, 7.6k, and they're getting to a point very similar to Dagonoth Bones that I think they're a worthwhile purchase. to train your prayer. Now, whether they're going to keep going down, I'm not sure, but as you can see here, for a period of time in June, they're 11.3k each. So they have the possibility of going back up to that price, maybe wait for them to fully crash out and start to recover, and then invest them. But I do think that 7.6k is a very good price for Aerobones. We have the Wine of Sorrow 36.2, Tusker's Wrath ability 4.2 mil as well, Dragon Hatchet 36.9, and the Robe of the First Necromancer 117.4 mil. Soulbound Lantern 483, we have a Mother Rune 731, Steel Bar 1.6k, so still actually pretty good profit actually making cannonballs because the steel bar price is so low. So definitely keep an eye on steel bars because at some point cannonballs will go back up, that's just a guarantee. So if you can get some steel bars and you can sit on them long enough, you can make some decent profit there. Animal Furs 5.4k, Arbok Seed 66.9k going down, but the herb price is up. So the herb price is actually quite good compared to the seed price, so definitely want to keep an eye out on. We have wildcards, so we've got the Stalker Creature, Edemu, Crystal Shapeshifter, Lost Grove Creature, and the Gemstone Dragon all on the way back down. Grimy Toadflax 3.2k each, and Opal is 516. Uncut Emerald 504 GP each. You could possibly craft that for profit. And emeralds are pretty decent XP per hour, so if that is an option, definitely worth doing for some cheap and for some profitable crafting XP. Dragon Scale Dust 195, and then finishing this week, Magical Thread 524.7k. If you don't have that brand new patch which came out with the 110 runecrafting update, could be a really good time to pick that up. I still need to do it on my account as well, but that is a pretty decent week actually, considering like most of it's been slammed out by things crashing due to the last wheels. I would say if you're sitting on a decent stack of last wheels, go and hand them in, because these items, if you are lucky enough to get one of these items, you want to try and sell them while there's still a bit of price in them. I think the more people hand these wheels in, the more they're going to crash. So if you can get in earlier, it's always worth doing for that. Apart from that, there's still some other things as well. Air at Bones is really interesting. Fungus is decent. Cannonballs, Keys of the Crossing, Ascension Bolts. The pumpkins, which I didn't realise were actually rares, are also in the game. So if you've got those, that's also a nice reward. Those black presents really are decent. Like the drop table there, now that you know that the pumpkins are tradable, are really good. So yeah, let me know if you've got anything from Last Wheels event so far this week. That is going to wrap up Marketwatch for this week, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. If there's anything you want to see, just let me know in the comments as always, and I'll make sure to jump on it as soon as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.